This is part 2 of my conversation with Ungame creator, Rhea Zakich.
And they didn't walk away because it was a game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hadn't thought all this through and then found out it worked. I was just desperately trying to connect with my family.
Right.
And I would learn from it.
Right. Right.
But I never thought it would go past my kitchen table. So
Oh.
it's not like I woke up someday and said, I think I'll make a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so inspiring. I think my last question, I have 2 more questions. Are you doing okay?
Sure.
Okay, just making sure. So, what do you hope that the players who play the Ungame take away from your game?
The importance of creating safe places for other people to share with them, but also the feeling of not being alone. When a group is sitting in a circle and taking turns with questions, somebody's going to talk about their dog dying or their mother who has cancer or their son who has got some learning problem. And if you can't talk but you care, you can tell by somebody's eyes, or they'll reach over and they'll pat your hand, or they'll get up and give you a hug or something. And I want people to learn other ways to communicate besides words. Words do not always do it. And just the importance of really listening. I think in the game, people get used to being quiet, except on their turn, which means they get used to not thinking of what they would answer to somebody's question. And they actually have more space in their mind to hear if they're not rehearsing what they would say. And people often say, I heard that story before, but it really touched me when he told it last night. And so we hear at a different level when we're not planning our retort.
Yeah, that's so true. All right. Well, it's my next question. It's going to be an Ungame question. So, do you want deck 1 or deck 2?
Deck 1 or deck 2? Well, originally, when I created it, as I added questions, it was a stack of about 4 inches high.
Wow.
Of recipe cards. Oh. And when the man who eventually was willing to risk putting it together and trying to sell it, he said that we need to put it in a box. And of course, the game board folded was just a half inch. And so he said, divide the questions into 2 stacks. And I didn't know, well, what kind of questions in each stack. So I decided deck number 1 are kind of icebreaker questions. Like if you're playing it with your social club or committee, you want to play with icebreaker questions first. And the deck number 2 went into deeper subjects. So that was, so I'm always in the mood for the deeper ones.
Okay, we'll do that. That's so interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's explained very well, especially in the old versions, but I think in the newer versions we tried to explain that.
Nice. Nice. Well, I just pulled a card and it says, name 2 people who have encouraged you sometime in your life.
Well, certainly the young man that contacted me and asked if I'd ever thought of marketing my handmade cardboard game. This was after 2 years of me writing to game companies all over the country and getting rejections when I would explain the Ungame. They would say, it's not a game. You can't win. You can't lose. There's no competition. There's no strategy. Who would play it? And so I was making them by hand for people who would ask me, which means I'd get a poster paper and a box of crayons. There were no computers, no printers in those days. And so I would just literally hand draw a game board and write all the little words all over it and hope it would, not smear. And so here was a man who I didn't know, but someone had loaned him their copy, handmade copy of a game I had made. And he and his wife had a blended family, his 4 kids and her 3 kids. And they were at war all the time. The kids fought, didn't like sharing the house. And he said somebody gave him this game, and it had changed their family so dramatically that he went back to the person who gave it to him and said, where did you find this? And she said, my son brought it home from a trash barrel out in front of a house in Garden Grove, California.
Wow.
And it was one of my rejects where I had spilled glue or something on the game board, threw it away. I remember saying, okay, God, if you want this game out there, then you have to do it. And I literally gave up my little handmade game business.
Wow.
And he came and he said, have you ever thought of marketing it? I said, I don't know how to do it. I don't have any money to do it. I don't even know where to begin. I was able to talk at that time. And he said, can I try? And I said, I've had 26 rejections. You can do anything you want to with it. And he mortgaged his home and started a company. And within a year or so, he was producing the game. So that was certainly encouragement, somebody that would invest in an idea that nobody else thought would fly.
Wow.
That was 50 some years ago. Amazing. But I've had I've always been an idea person. I always see possibilities that I feel like I have trouble communicating, but in a few years, somebody else is marketing it. That's always been my experience. And so I haven't felt I had too many encouragers, people that were interested, but not too many people that said, let's run with that idea, And, but apparently, well, the encouragers have been the people that have played the game. And they're the ones that say, this is great. Keep making them. And so now, of course, I don't have to make them. I order them from Amazon like anybody else would.
Wow. That is so cool. Do you want to pull another card, or are you done for the night?
No, I'm fine.
All right.
It's early where I am.
Oh my goodness, you're so right. It's getting late where I am. It's getting late. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pull another card. And then
While you're looking for one, it reminds me of
yes.
this. I live in a senior residence with 200 people. We get a lot of speakers that come and encourage old people to write their stories for their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. Yeah. And I'm not much of a writer, and my hand shakes at age 90, and at typing, I have to correct a lot of mistakes. So I decided I'm going to record myself answering Ungame questions.
Oh, wow.
And put them on, my son will put them on a CD. or however he wants to make them available. So that children and grandchildren will have my voice and my face answering questions about my life.
That's a great idea.
That's a current project of mine.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
And it's funny, 50 years of playing the game thousands of times with children, with adults, with prisoners, with doctors, with teachers. I never give the same answer.
Really?
The same way, because I'm always influenced by things that are happening in my life, or things that I've seen or heard, or what someone else has said. And when I get a card, my mind goes to a little different angle of the question.
Wow. Yeah, you never get tired of the Ungame, huh?
I don't.
Yeah, neither do I.
Especially the listening part.
The rest of our conversation will be continued in part 3. Thank you for listening.